hello, internet friends and fellow movie lovers. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. I've got the microphone set up right behind you. I have not filmed a video with my microphone in quite some time. I've been lo-fiing it up lately, but we are going with the mic today. I've got a little Waterloo Waterloo cherry limeade sparkling water. I'm gonna I don't know if you can hear the bubbles. Yeah. Today is Friday, February 7th. It is exactly 4 p.m. on the dot. Yesterday was my birthday. Yesterday was my birthday. Guess in the comments how old I am. Take a little guess. Today, we are gonna go through every movie I watched in January. It's a few days later than I planned to do this, but what can you do? I'm gonna try to incorporate some hand movements, finger flutters, etc. Because those are my favorite little triggers. I feel like now I'm gonna be burpy because I'm drinking this, but anybody that knows me IRL in real life knows that I am a sparkling water stan. Also, they match. Little dots. My sister did my nails when she came to visit me last weekend for my birthday. And then this weekend, tonight, my friend Haley is coming into town. And if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you guys know Haley. She's been making appearances on the channel since 2018. So let's talk about movies. Let's get into it. I have my iPad and I've got my letterboxd pulled up on here. Letterboxd username is ksnyder18, but I will link it if you want to be friends. I leave reviews for every single movie I see. Every single one, pretty much. In the month of January, I watched 21 feature-length films. 21. That's a pretty robust month for me. I would say I average maybe like 15 movies a month. Like one every other day, but it doesn't usually break down like that. It's usually like I'll go 4 days without watching a movie, and then on a Saturday I'll watch like 4. But let's do it. So I'm not gonna like go into depth and describe every movie. That would take forever. We're already a few minutes in. Just gonna kind of give you like my general thoughts and talk more about the ones that I think deserve more chatter. Excuse me. Burpee. I knew this would happen. Okay. First film of the year was a complete unknown. 2024 release. Oscar nom, Timothy Chalamet. Fun fact, I was gonna say this was my first ever Tim film, but actually my first Timothy Chalamet film was Lady Bird, but he didn't star in it, so this is my first time seeing him in a leading role. Not my last, I'll tell you that. Saw this in the theater on January 1st. Started my new year off right. I really liked it. I was really into it. I gave it 4 stars. I had a great time. I'm going to talk more in depth about it. I'm going to be putting out ranking the Oscar Best Picture nominations video sometime this month once I've seen them all, so I'll spare you, but I liked it. Next, I saw Carry On on Netflix, starring Taron Egerton and Jason Bateman. Cute little action thriller airport situation. 3 stars. Nothing to write home about. I had a good time watching. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Then I watched Someone Great from 2019. This is a rewatch for me. Of course, I've seen it. Gina Rodriguez, our Jane the Virgin Queen. I went through a breakup recently, which I talked about in my life update. And when you go through a breakup, you gotta watch Someone Great, you know? It really does something for you. And then there's like the amazing scene where they're like dancing to Lizzo, drunk, in the kitchen. Well, I'm being great till they gotta be great. You guys know. Then I watched the much anticipated Red Rooms, which was like a huge movie in 2024 that everybody was talking about in the horror community, and I never got out to go see it. So finally, when it was on streaming, I decided to give it a try, and this movie was seriously fucked up. I enjoyed watching it, but I never want to see it again, and it was really freaky. I got why everybody was talking about it, but I gave this one 3.5 stars. I would recommend it if you like horror and you like being really uncomfortable, but insane, like, trigger warnings, I guess. Although I think trigger warnings with horror is like kind of stupid, because don't watch horror movies if there's certain thematic things that you can't handle, because horror movies are not unless it's just like a run-of-the-mill slasher, you're gonna expect some craziness in there, you know. Then I rewatched This Is 40, Leslie Mann and Paul Rudd, and the Apatow girlies. This Is 40 is fun. I laugh at it, it's silly, but it also makes me feel really hopeless, kind of. It makes me scared about getting older and like what happens in so many marriages, and I am scared. I'm scared. I've just lately, when I watch depictions of shitty marriages and like struggles with motherhood in media, it makes me feel nervous for the future. Not that I'm anywhere near being married or being a mother, but it's just like, as I get older, I don't know, it kind of gives me anxiety. Enough said. Okay, then I rewatched Her, H-E-R, from 2013, Joaquin Phoenix. Guys, I remembered not liking this movie on my first watch, but I know so many people like it. We talk about the cinematography, blah, blah, blah. I hate this movie. I did, I'll tell you about my letterboxd review. I did quote the film where Amy Adams, whose character I love in this, she says, "I think anyone that falls in love is kind of a freak. It's a socially acceptable form of being insane." And ain't that the truth? That resonated with me. Because why is falling in love and or having a crush like as crazy as you can be? Like, I'm at my most insane and unstable when I have a crush on someone. Is that a universal experience? Tell me. Can you guys tell me if that is a universal experience? Thank you. And then in my review I wrote, "This film is deeply unsettling to me," and it just kept going and going and going and going. Yeah. I think this movie should have ended like so many times, and then it just like, okay. I actually hate like AI in films, and like this was 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and now it's becoming more and more prevalent, and I'm not into the storyline. I'm not into it. I don't want it. Get AI representation out of movies. Thank you. I'm trying to escape and get into a storyline. I don't want that. I'm not interested in it. Let's have characters that are people. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Next, I watched Beautiful Boy for the first time because I wanted another Chalamet movie. And guys, I didn't really know what this was about. I knew it was about a young man who has a drug problem. I knew that, okay? But I also saw that it starred Steve Carell, and I was like, Steve Carell is a silly, goofy guy, so surely this movie might be silly and goofy. For any of you that have seen this movie, you're laughing at me right now because this was a very intense ride that I was 100% not emotionally prepared for when I sat down to watch it. I never want to see it again. It's a 4-star movie, and both Timothée Chalamet and Steve Carell deserve accolades for this film because what the fuck? This was really, really scary to me. I'm really scared of addiction and substance abuse and the way that it changes people. Very terrifying for me, and this was a really, really, really hard watch. This is a really, really, really hard watch. But they gave some beautiful performances. Again, we'll never be rewatching, but if that sounds like something that's your vibe, definitely check it out, but like prepare for the whole rest of your day to be ruined. Okay. Did I give any movies 5 stars this month? No. Sure did not. I just wanted to check and see. Okay. Next, I went to the theater and I watched The Last Showgirl. I watched The Last Showgirl. Pamela Anderson and Jamie Lee Curtis. This is a really fun cast. I did not know that we were going to see Brenda Song and Kiernan Shipka and whoever the hell else was in this movie. I forget. The movie was really pretty. The costumes and the coloring was really like dazzling and beautiful, but the cinematography was strange. Like some of the lens choices were weird. Like it would go kind of blurry and I was like, is it supposed to be like that? Like I didn't totally get what they were trying to capture. And to be honest, I found Pamela Anderson's performance to be like really one note and just like, it just felt like Pamela Anderson. Like it didn't feel like a character. And so when there was talk about her being nominated for Best Actress and then I went and saw this, I was like, hello? Like, what? And then Jamie Lee Curtis obviously was nominated for... Did she get nominated for BAFTAs or SAG? I don't remember, but she was the best part of this movie to me. Her character was over the top and ridiculous, but you know what? Every time Jamie Lee Curtis was not on screen, I was missing her. I wanted her to come back. I wanted more of her. And otherwise, boring. There were some moments where I laughed out loud, though. There were some little funnies in there. Billy Lord. That's who else was in it that I wanted to mention. But overall, like, I wasn't wowed. I was not wowed. Didn't get it. Next, I watched Notting Hill for the first time. And I am a Hugh Grant stan. I love a rom-com. I love a British rom-com. And I love a 90s rom-com. So the fact that I'd never seen this, I don't know what I was waiting for. Floppy 90s Hugh Grant hair. Love. Bill Withers on the soundtrack. Love. And there's a scene where Julia Roberts is just like in a dress shirt and nothing else, and she is so hot and cool. I just love everything about this. I had so much fun. Watching this. I don't know if I felt like the love story was super believable, but like I had a good time. I liked all of the side characters and like the little side quests, and this was really fun. I don't know what took me so long to watch it, but I'm glad I finally got around to it. And next Monday, I finally got to go see The Brutalist in theaters. I, again, will talk more about this in my Oscars Best Picture ranking video, which will be coming out later this month, of course, before the Oscars on March 2nd or March 3rd. It'll be out before then, sometime this month. Enjoyed it. Adrian Brody is insane in the best way. He's an insane person, and I fuck with it. But again, I'll talk in depth about that in my Oscars bid. Next, I did a little Ratatouille rewatch. Needed it. Needed to show it to my cats. They were pretty into it. I think this was like a Saturday where I was just kind of like napping and like rotting all day, and I just needed to feel good little flick that I didn't have to follow too closely. I had a blast. I don't like animation. That's something about me, is I don't really enjoy animated films. I like this one, but it also feels kind of nostalgic to me, so maybe that's why. But I'm not really an animation girl, but this one is good. This one is a goodie. Next, I saw in theaters The Room Next Door with Julianne Moore and Tilda Swinton. Sorry, there's like a floating fuzz. This one was directed by Almodovar. Ow. I didn't get this. I thought the coloring was really fun, and there was some really cool wardrobe and makeup choices. It was pretty to watch, but like the characters fell flat, the plot bored me, the writing was meh. Like I just was really missing something for me, and I was so shocked that a movie starring Julianne Moore and Tilda Swinton as gal pals did not totally like grip me. I was really expecting to like this one, and it was really a miss for me. So not for me. Next, I saw in theaters One of Them Days, the new buddy comedy starring SZA and Keke Palmer. You know, it's your girl. Keke Palmer is so dazzling. Every screen that she graces, like I just can't take my eyes off of her. Her physical comedy and her timing. I mean, she's just so funny and charismatic, and like she just seems like the coolest person in the world. Put Keke Palmer in more movies. And SZA did a good job too. I like their like friendship and their dynamic. It was fun. It was low stakes. It was cool. I went on like a Sunday afternoon with my girlfriend, and we got, you know, like soda and popcorn, and we were like in our pajamas, and we just had a fun time. We went into like a decently full theater, and everyone was laughing, and just like it was a good time. I miss seeing like comedies and like silly, lighthearted things in the theater. So go see this one with your friends if you haven't seen it yet. Okay. I rewatched Whiplash, which Whiplash is just so much like it's like a panic attack. The way I feel watching Whiplash is the way I feel watching Uncut Gems. Like, well, I like Uncut Gems a lot better, but you know what I'm saying. It's like the whole time I'm like, which sometimes is fun, but like in Whiplash, it just never lets up for a second. And again, like it's still great, and it's J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller, but like I just forgot how overstimulating that movie is, so proceed with caution. But if you haven't seen it before, like, I think it's still on Netflix. Go watch it. But, you know, take like a sedative or something if you need it. And for anybody who went to music school and grew up as a musician, it hits. Okay, next, guys. I tried to watch Licorice Pizza for the first time, which I know is like a cult classic. What the fuck? I could not finish this. I tried to watch this over the course of like 3 days in parts. I could not get through it. I hated everything about it. I hated the actors. I hated the way it's shot. I hate the writing. Why am I watching a movie about like a couple, and when it starts they're like 15 and 26 or something? What the fuck? What am I watching? Why am I watching this? You guys like this? You guys like this? Tell me. If you like Licorice Pizza, write a defense in the comments, because what the fuck? I could not finish it. It was unwatchable. I got like 2 hours into this movie and I literally could not bring myself to finish it. It was like one of the worst things I've ever seen. So like maybe I don't get it. It's not for me. I don't want it to be for me. So, because I wanted to watch another pizza movie, I watched Mystic Pizza, also for the first time. So maybe I was on like a Julia Roberts kick or something. I loved Mystic Pizza. It made me tear up. What a beautiful depiction of true female friendship and your friends being your family. I loved all of the storylines. All of the girlies had a different kind of boy-related strife, but they all worked in a restaurant, which, like, shout out, I worked in restaurants forever. I've worked in restaurants forever. And just, like, the camaraderie of these girls and working together, and, like, it takes place in the late 80s. Well, I don't know. Is that when it takes place? I don't know. It came out in the late 80s. And it's in, like, a coastal town. I think it's Mystic, Connecticut. Is that? Whatever. And they all work at a pizza place. And, like, I just had so much fun watching this. This will be one that I, like, continue to rewatch over and over throughout time. Beautiful depiction of female friendship. So fun. And, loved it. Loved it. Didn't give it 5 stars, though. I gave it 4. Okay. Then I watched Lonely Planet, which came out last year. Laura Dern and Liam Hemsworth. Okay. Here's the thing. I didn't really feel like they had any chemistry. Overall, I did not like this movie. It felt really, like, incomplete, but I felt like with the characters and how they were written, if we got, like, a full, like, actual storyline, I would have enjoyed it. But those actors together, like, who did the casting for this movie? Because it made no sense to me. Like, I was like, you want me to believe that these characters are attracted to each other? Or these actors? Like, I couldn't buy into them. But I thought that the storyline and the writing of the characters had a lot of potential. But, yeah, it was not good. Next. I was in the mood to feel a lot of feelings. So I rewatched La La Land. City of stars, are they shining just for me? City of stars, they never shine so brightly. A look, a glance, a touch, a dance. Okay, that is not relaxing. Guys, this is another prime example of a man realizing what he has after it's too late. Everything in this movie is blue, like this. I'm looking very La La Land today. Everything is dazzling. Everything hurts. Everything hurts. Do you like jazz? Guys, I don't really like jazz, but I had a fun time. Kinda. I did cry after I finished watching it, but I knew that was gonna happen, and that was my goal. So, again, times are tough. Times are tough. La La Land, beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. It deserved all the accolades it received. More Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling together. Have you guys seen Crazy Stupid Love? I think I actually talked about this in a semi-recent video because I rewatched it not that long ago, and they have such amazing chemistry. I want another, like, romance or drama starring Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling because they have the sauce. They have separately the sauce and together the sauce. Okay. We only have 3 more. So if you're still with me, comment down below your favorite movie that you watched in January or watched recently. Yeah, if you're still watching, comment that below. Last 3. I rewatched Shiva Baby, which I love. Rachel Sennett is a star, but everybody knows that by now. This movie fucking rocks. Every time I watch it, I laugh the whole time. I feel horribly anxious. It's fucking awesome. And especially if you are a young woman or you've been a young woman, bonus points if you are Jewish. This film really hits. It's crazy. It'll make you feel better about your life because the main character is such a mess, and this whole movie is so messy that like all you can do is laugh and just be like, yeah, girl, I get it. I get it. I get her. And all of the last few movies I watched at the end of this month were rewatches because that was the vibe. I rewatched Tangled. 7 a.m. the usual morning lineup. Yeah, a beautiful love story. Mother Gothel, she slays. She just wants to be young and beautiful. Who can blame her? Another example of an animated film that I love because it makes me, well, not nostalgic, because I was too like old when this movie came out for it to be like nostalgic for me. But Mandy Moore was always meant to be a Disney princess, and her voice is beautiful, and the soundtrack slaps. Love. It's so good. It is that bitch. Tangled is that bitch. And the last film that I watched in January. Okay. Did a little bit. My phone died right as I was about to do my last movie of January. So, the last film that I watched in the month of January, ending strong, I rewatched The Social Network. And guys, it really is just so good. You cannot convince me that anyone in that movie is acting. I am convinced that that is actually all of their personalities. Truly. And I would love to see Jesse Eisenberg and Andrew Garfield together in something else. In fact, I would die for it. So, if anyone's listening to me, more Jesse Eisenberg and Andrew Garfield. And you know what the hell? David Fincher can direct it. Sure. I had a fun time, and the soundtrack is nostalgic, and I just love Jesse Eisenberg like prattling on and being anxious because that's just him all the time, and it's very relatable to me. I, to my core, am a Jesse Eisenberg empath. I get it. That's my guy. So, January was an interesting month. I did a lot of rewatching, a lot of reflecting. There was a lot of nostalgia playing into my choices. No 5 stars in January, though I don't give 5 stars out super loosely. So I'm excited for February. I'm going to be seeing the rest of the things I need to watch before the Oscars. And yeah, February is going to be a better month than January. Well, we're already a weekend, and so far it's totally not. But we've got 3 more weeks left, and they are going to be better than January was. So I hope that you are all staying safe, happy, and healthy. And let me know what you want to see next. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!